I never imagined that a simple errand could land me in the center of a galactic court. Yet, as I stood in the grand hall of the Zalari Empire, the polished obsidian floor reflecting the intricate, floating chandeliers above, I realized there was no turning back. The scent of exotic incense, a blend of crystallized moon sugar and ionized plasma, filled the air, making my pulse thrum nervously. Around me, beings of all shapes and sizes whispered, their translucent skins catching the soft luminescence in ways my human eyes struggled to interpret. The invitation had come unexpectedly, delivered by a small, hovering drone carrying a crystalline envelope stamped with the seal of Queen Alara herself. Its contents were brief but urgent. Your presence is requested. Bring only yourself. The court awaits.
I didn't know why. I didn't know how.
And yet, as I walked through the towering gates of the palace, I felt the weight of 1,000 eyes pressing upon me. My mission had been simple: retrieve a rare data module from the outskirts of the Andari cluster. Simple, until the Zalari intercepted me. They hadn't harmed me. Not yet. Instead, they had brought me here, to this chamber of impossible elegance, lined with hovering tapestries that shifted between colors, depicting battles and ceremonies I could never hope to understand. At the far end of the hall, atop a platform that shimmered like liquid metal, she sat. Queen Alara. Her presence was magnetic, and the room seemed to bend toward her. She was taller than any human, her skin a pearlescent silver that reflected every hue in the room. Her eyes were large, elongated, and deep violet, like twin nebulae swirling with light and shadow. Her hair, a flowing cascade of translucent fibers, floated as though underwater, responding to some unseen current. She was regal, terrifying, and impossibly beautiful. Bring him forward, she commanded, her voice a melody that resonated directly in my mind, bypassing my ears entirely. The guard stepped aside, and I realized I had become the subject of the court's gaze. Every whisper ceased, every holographic eye turned toward me. I had no idea why I was here, and that realization made my stomach twist. Yet, somewhere deep inside, a small, reckless part of me, the part that had survived countless interstellar heists, whispered, maybe I can survive this too. The queen's gaze fixed on me, and I felt stripped bare. She leaned forward slightly, and the courtiers leaned closer, straining to witness the unfolding spectacle. And what, exactly, she asked, her tone teasing but firm. Do you think you are worth? The question stunned me. Worth? I had never thought of myself in such terms. Surely she was speaking metaphorically, testing me, probing for courage. I opened my mouth, but no words came. I realized then that the silence was not merely my own. The entire court waited, expectant, like the universe itself was holding its breath. A smile curved her lips, and then, suddenly, she said, "Is this enough to buy you?" She extended her hand, revealing a small orb suspended in a gravitational field. Inside the orb, I could see a miniature galaxy swirling, stars and planets spinning in perfect harmony. It was beautiful, impossible, and terrifying. The court gasped audibly. Some beings bowed so low that their heads almost touched the floor. Others simply froze. Even the air seemed to hum with tension. I had no idea what to do. Could a human even be bought in a society so alien, so vast? The orb pulsed, and I felt my thoughts being tugged at, memories surfacing. My childhood, my dreams, the lonely nights spent staring at the stars, wondering if someone out there understood me. I don't know, I stammered, my voice barely audible over the hum of the chamber. Queen Alara's eyes narrowed slightly, and then she laughed, soft, musical, and terrifyingly sincere. Courage, little one. Honesty. That is more valuable than anything this court can offer. The orb flickered. Stars within it shifted, forming patterns I didn't recognize. Then a strange sensation overtook me. I realized I could see the thoughts of the court members, their judgments, their curiosity, even their envy. They were asking themselves, why him? Why now? What does the queen see that we do not? She leaned closer, her fingers hovering just above the orb. Do you understand what this is? I shook my head. This, she said, voice softening, is the essence of value in the Zalari Empire. Every being, every thought, every skill, every moment of life, it can be measured, weighed, and acquired. Her gaze locked onto mine. And yet, even here, in the heart of power, there are some things no currency can buy. I swallowed hard. Somehow, amidst the awe, the fear, the alien sophistication, I felt a flicker of understanding. She wasn't testing my wealth or my strength or my intellect. She was testing myself. Before I could react, the orb lifted into the air, spinning slowly, a galaxy in miniature reflecting in the queen's eyes. If you take this, she said, you are bound to the empire. Your freedom, your choices, everything belongs to us. And yet, she tilted her head, studying me with that unnerving depth. I wonder if even you, a human, could offer something no price can claim. A murmur rippled through the court. Some beings shuffled nervously. Others leaned forward, eager to witness the outcome. The weight of 1,000 lifetimes pressed down on me. But in that moment, I realized something crucial. I had survived countless missions because I had relied not on luck or skill alone, but on my ability to choose. And so I made my choice. I reached out, not for the orb, but toward the queen herself. The room gasped. She tilted her head in surprise. My hand hovered between us. I don't belong to anyone, I said firmly, my voice echoing in the mental resonance of the chamber. And no galaxy, no matter how beautiful, could ever buy me. For a heartbeat, silence ruled. Then, slowly, Queen Alara's smile returned, this time broader, warmer, almost approving.
Bold, she said.
Defiant, human, and yet remarkable. The orb floated back toward her, spinning down to rest in her palm. She studied me for a long moment, and then, to everyone's shock, she laughed. It was a sound that shook the walls, yet did not break them. Very well. You may stay for now. The courtiers whispered, some confused, some outraged, others clearly thrilled. I didn't understand all the intricacies of Zalari law or hierarchy, but I knew one thing. I had survived. And more than that, I had impressed a queen. Stay? I asked, still trying to catch my breath. Yes, she replied, rising from her throne. Her height and grace were almost otherworldly as she descended the steps toward me. You will serve no one but yourself here. But, she added, her eyes twinkling, if you ever seek a path of true consequence, the doors of this court will always remain open to you. I nodded, uncertain if I had understood correctly. Her presence was overwhelming, yet I felt a strange sense of safety, a connection across the vast gulf between our species. Somehow, I sensed that this was only the beginning. The court erupted into activity once more, the murmurs growing into discussions, plans, debates. But I remained where I was, staring at the queen, my mind racing with possibilities. I had entered this hall as a mere human on a mission. Now, I stood as something far more significant, a free agent in an empire where freedom itself was a rarity. Queen Alara approached one final time, placing a hand lightly on my shoulder. The touch was not commanding, not demanding, merely acknowledging. "Remember this, human," she said softly, so only I could hear. "Courage and choice are worth more than any galaxy." With that, she returned to her throne, leaving me in the center of the court, surrounded by alien beings whose intentions I could not yet decipher. And yet I felt ready. Ready to navigate the labyrinthine politics of the Zolari Empire. Ready to survive, thrive, and perhaps, in time, understand a civilization so vast it made my own seem inconsequential. And most importantly, ready to live my life on my terms, no matter how strange or impossible the universe might appear. I took a deep breath, squared my shoulders, and allowed the court's gaze to settle on me. I did not flinch.
I did not bow.
I did not bargain. For the first time in my life, I knew the worth of my own choice, my own courage, and my own freedom. The court went silent again, not in expectation, not in judgment, but in respect. And in that silence, I realized something even more extraordinary. Sometimes, survival is not about escaping the galaxy's most powerful rulers. Sometimes, it is about standing firm and declaring that you are your own price. The court went silent again, but this time it wasn't the tense, expectant hush of before. It was different, deeper, heavier with respect. Every being in that hall, from the tallest Solari to the smallest floating envoy, recognized something in me they rarely saw: courage unbound, the kind that refused to be measured, weighed, or bought. Queen Alara's eyes lingered on me, and for the first time, they softened. She leaned back slightly, her regal posture relaxed just enough to hint at approval. "You have chosen wisely," she said. "Many who come before me would trade their very souls for this, for the chance to belong here. And yet, you have claimed what no one can ever take: your freedom." A murmur passed through the court, not of disapproval, but awe. Whispers of admiration, incredulity, and curiosity swirled like a subtle wind, brushing past me. I realized that my defiance, my choice to remain my own master, had left its mark, not as a threat, but as an inspiration. The queen rose from her throne, her steps deliberate, almost ceremonial, and stopped before me. She reached out, her hand resting lightly on my shoulder. The touch was warm, grounding, and filled with unspoken promise. "You may walk the halls of this empire as you wish," she said softly, her voice meant only for me. "And when the time comes, should you choose to join us, we will welcome you, not as property, but as a partner in something greater than yourself." Her words echoed in my mind, resonating with a clarity I had never known. I had expected danger, judgment, perhaps even death. Instead, I found respect, opportunity, and an offer I could consider on my own terms. I nodded, understanding without needing to speak. Freedom was not given, it was claimed, and today I had claimed mine. The queen returned to her throne, and slowly, the court resumed its duties. Yet the atmosphere had shifted. The once intimidating chamber now felt like a place where possibilities stretched farther than any galaxy I had ever seen. I knew that surviving this trial had only been the beginning, that navigating the Zolari Empire would challenge every skill, every instinct I possessed. And yet I felt ready. I straightened, squared my shoulders, and walked toward the exit of the hall, my every step deliberate. Around me, the court members regarded me with a mixture of curiosity and respect, their whispers a distant hum. For the first time in my life, I understood something vital. The universe was vast, unpredictable, and full of rulers who could weigh entire worlds, but my worth was mine alone to define. As I passed the towering gates and the shimmering tapestries, I glanced back at Queen Alara. Her gaze met mine, and she nodded, not as a queen commanding a subject, but as a being recognizing another who had chosen to claim their own destiny. The hall faded behind me, but her words lingered. Courage and choice are worth more than any galaxy. I stepped out into the starlit corridors of the palace, my heart steady, my mind alive with possibilities. Whatever awaited me in this alien empire, whatever challenges, dangers, and wonders lay ahead, I knew one thing: I would face them on my own terms. And that, I realized, was priceless. The court had gone silent once more, but this time it was not the silence of expectation or judgment. It was the silence of respect, and perhaps even a hint of awe. And in that silence, I found my victory. I was free, and no galaxy could ever buy me.